Ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the All Things Comedy Live podcast with Bill Burr and Al Madrigal. Please give a warm welcome to your hosts, Bill Burr and Al Madrigal.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming out.
What's going on? How are you?
Nice to see you.
Hey, there we go. All right. How's it going? I was behind the back with the microphone.
Yeah, nice.
You like that?
Moves.
Put a little sound effect. I didn't know it was going to freak everybody out in here.
I'm happy to report no trouble.
No trouble.
Nope, nothing.
But people have been listening to this as we do this once a month. Al, it's amazing. His ability every month to have an unreal confrontation with somebody just trying to sell him, like, you know, a Gatorade, maybe a movie ticket, or maybe, you know, hey, hula hoops are on sale. I think I'll get one for my daughter. Next thing you know, you're having this epic meltdown.
It's not. I always get dragged in. I did fire a gardener. My house came with a gardener. I moved into a new place about 8 months ago, and
was he in the garage?
You know what?
Take him out like one of those old-fashioned fucking ironing boards. He just fell down like that. You drag him off it.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? He was taking care of the older lady that I moved into her place, and she said, "If you could do me one favor, keep Manuel." And I said, "I'm gonna do my best to keep Manuel. I don't like being told."
And also, that's a red flag too. Like, we're his last customer.
Yeah,
he is fucked up everywhere else. If you fire him, he has nowhere to go.
Well, it was sort of that. So his truck went missing today. I talked to the neighbors. He had a drinking issue. Then I was trying to be nice. I really was. He's an older guy, and he explained to me right away. He goes, and his voice got crushed. His voice box got crushed in an auto accident a long time ago. And, he's a very sympathetic guy. And then his truck got taken away for some reason. His trunk went missing, so he'd ride a bicycle up. And
I'd say that's drinking and driving.
Yeah, no, I just assumed
that's how it worked with me.
Exactly.
Anytime you see somebody in work clothes on a bicycle over the age of 30, that's usually a DUI.
Made the exact same assumption. I say,
this guy's really into working out. He just can't stop.
So I was looking, and I know this from firing people, which was what I used to do prior to stand-up comedy, and when I first started stand-up comedy, I used to fire people, so I knew that I was looking for an excuse. And you have to, if you ever want to get rid of somebody, you got to just wait, but when they do give you an opportunity to fire them, you got to jump on it. So he no-showed me 2 weeks in a row, and then I called up my old gardener immediately, got Armando in there, fucking took care of shit. And then I guess he came by. I go, Manuel, you no-showed me. I came by on Super Bowl Sunday. And I go, you came by on Super Bowl Sunday? What do you? And I go, you're supposed to work every other Friday. And I said, yeah. I go, why? And then I lied, and I said, my cousin's husband's going to take care of it. Right now, that's one of the benefits of being Latino. He bought that, and.
Did he start crying with that awful voice?
No, he just took it.
Just making it even fucking worse.
Horrible.
Listen, I'm sorry for you and your crushed larynx. You have to get on your bicycle and leave.
Mumbling. I was super nice. Like, and also, like, he would come by, and he insisted on speaking Spanish to me. And he knew. I said, because I understand most things, but he could tell that I wasn't getting most of it. And he would just bust out Spanish, and then I would, after a while, because of the larynx thing, and I would just nod and agree with whatever he said. And he goes, ¿Te gustaría empanadas? Empanadas? You like the empanadas? Champanadas? And I go, yeah, sure, I love the champanadas. Sure, champanadas. And then I ended up, he goes, I got it for you. And I ended up drinking shit out of his backpack. And, yeah, he had a Tupperware with, like, a warm, hot chocolate. And he goes, yeah, try it. And I didn't want to be so rude, because it's just a sip. And so I was like, oh, yeah, it's good.
Then you started talking like him. You go,
I got you. Well, let's bring out our first guest. This is
wait, I got to tell you really quickly. I went around the world since the last time I was here.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I did.
No, you really did go. Actually, you went around the actual world.
I did Australia, New Zealand, then I did Singapore, Hong Kong, Mumbai, then connected in Dubai and flew to New York. So literally went all the way around. And
now, how fucked up are you, time?
Big time.
Sleep?
Big time. Like, I'm just like, I can't shake it. Like, I'm trying to, keep thinking. I don't take sleeping pills and stuff because I know they kick the shit out of your liver. So I've just been laying there and I've been having really fucked up dreams. Really childhood crazy shit. I had this dream. I was laying in bed and I woke up. You know that dream, but you didn't wake up? And there was a little girl, 6 years old or something, about fucking 10 feet away from the bed. And she was talking and I couldn't hear her. Right? And I was going, what? What are you saying? Come here. She got a little closer. I was like, what? Huh? And she got all the way up here. And I go, what did you say? And she just goes, you're going to kill yourself. Dude, I shut up and what the fuck? What does that mean? What does it mean? Was that one of those metaphor dreams that means I have laundry to do and I'm not looking forward to it? Yeah. Nah, that's not a cry for help. I would never, I would never kill myself. I wouldn't. I don't want to fucking meet the higher power. I know the things I've done. I don't need the guy who created the universe looking at me like, I'm trying to put that off. What does it mean, Al?
And then, as far as I just end up having, I wake up in sweats, worrying about fucking Ari Shafir's podcast. I really do. That's all I think is fucking. I have taken on way too much, and I am just wake up. And anybody wake up at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning because they're worried about shit that they got to do. You do that? I freak out about my.
I make noises
to do list.
Just thinking about it. It's terrible.
So I just panic about fucking of shit that I have to do, and that's it. But I can't, dream-wise, I always remember, I had a fever dream. I kept having a reoccurring fever dream whenever I was a kid, and it kept coming back until I was in my 20s, about, all the money. I was responsible for all the money, and the money went away in the world, and I fucking would just wake up crying. And it's just fucking, I remember I was in 8th grade, and I went running into my father's arms, in tighty-whities. And we always, in my family, my dad and we all thought we were possessed. They were literally worried. They found my cousin out in front of the house in his underwear around the same time, saying, "Lance, get the horses." And my uncles and my dad were all talking to each other yeah, there's something wrong with the kids. There's something. They're in tighty-whities and they're running around crying.
It's like before the internet. You couldn't film it. You just had to sit there figuring it out for yourself when you're front of that. Yeah, they're all fucked up. Yeah. Was it aliens? I don't know. All right, let's try to get them back to bed and maybe it'll stop tomorrow.
So you feel like you're getting back on track? You're actually adjusting to
but it was an
normal
amazing
time?
trip. Asia was incredible. Tell
me about that. So actually, who are the people coming out to these shows? You actually build up a following.
Well, Singapore is a lot of expatriates, a lot of bankers. So it was and then some Singapore people. India was all Indian people, so that was cool. But Singapore was it's just an island, and it's it's got that real you know what it feels like when you're in Singapore? You ever go over to a rich kid's house? And everything's put, they got all this stuff and it's all put in its place, but you just feel this unbelievable lack of love, and this distance. That's what it is. Like my wife said, if hand sanitizer was a city, it would be that. And then Mumbai, I was saying, if CBGB's, that old great punk rock club, was a city, it'd be Mumbai. It was fucking chaos, but it was cool as shit. It was so cool. Fucking stray cow. I saw a stray cow. Then I drove 40 miles. I only saw 2, but the Indian comics were fucking cool as shit. We all talk comedy. It was the exact same conversations, set up punch, questions, all that type of shit. And then a half hour in, it's just the classic comic shit where it's just all right, who's out there? What comic is selling way more tickets than you think they should be because they suck, right? And I'm just like, really? all the way over here, the same thing?
That's hilarious.
And they're like, come on, give us one name. Just who? Come on. There's somebody you think sucks. No, they were awesome. I absolutely loved it, and the food was amazing. And there was this crazy thing where I had to get this visa. It took like 2 weeks to get it to go there. And then when I landed, I had to get a piece of paper to leave. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? They're like, yeah, you don't have that piece of paper. And then the big thing was Norah Jones got detained today. I'm like, fuck, Norah Jones didn't get to go. I'm going to be in jail. I started hearing like Midnight Express music.
Sure.
I have to bite somebody's tongue out and shit. It was fucking...
Yeah, if they detain Norah Jones, you're fucked.
Oh, yeah, I'm done. Yeah. I'm done. But there's a lot of... They're going through their Lenny Bruce years sort of over there where they can't talk about the government. You get in trouble, whatever. But it's not like you go to jail or anything. You can get like fined, but you don't get like caned or any of that shit. But it's like...
So getting in, you didn't have any trouble like when you have to go and declare what you're there for, or you... No issues?
India was really... We're assholes to them. Like, we don't want them sneaking into the country, I guess. So we're real dicks to them. So it's very petty. So then they're assholes to us, more so to West Coast people than East Coast people. So I figure a senator said something bad about India from, like, California, like Schwarzenegger. Who needs them anyway, right? And then all of a sudden I show up. California, all right, motherfucker, you need a piece of paper. Oh, yeah, I had to go to this government building, and they wouldn't let the promoter come with me. I'm just walking into this building. I'm like, some white dude next to some lady from Afghanistan. It was like that classroom in the beginning of Stripes, and everybody's sitting there, son of bitch, shit, except you're in the classroom going, all right, I don't know the language. And Indian people got this hilarious thing where sometimes when they don't say yes or no, they do like this bobblehead thing. They just kind of go like this. And one of the Indian comics, I go, what the fuck does that mean? Because it was like going to DMV. I had this whole stack of shit. Like, now can I get out? They're like, you still need one more piece of paper. I go, okay, if I go out there and the guy stamps the thing, can I leave the country tonight when my flight leaves? And the lady's just got just the side of her head. She's just sitting there in front of the computer, just goes like, does one of those. And this Indian comedian was hilarious. He said, that means she's politely tolerating your existence or something like that. Like, it kind of means like, you see how the city looks? I mean, what the fucking cow over there? I mean, I don't know. But it was awesome. And I would definitely go. It's insane. I would definitely go again. And the people there were great.
Awesome. Yeah. It's good to have
All
you
right,
back.
I'm babbling. Let's get the fucking people on. Pete Holmes has been leering
this
in that window
amazing
like a
show. You guys have a great... This is one of the best ones we've done. We've got a special surprise at the end. One of our favorite comics is coming on. And two of our very good friends coming out right now. Big round of applause. Very funny. Pete Holmes from You Made It Weird. We're in his house, right? Anywhere you want.
Anywhere you want to sit.
And Jay Larson. Let's bring them both out at the exact same time.
Jay Larson.
Jay Larson.
Yo, what's going on?
Gentlemen.
How are you, sir?
Good. Good to see you.
I didn't know this was going to be filmed. And I don't like it.
Oh, are you really mad about that? I'm sorry.
It's so much funnier to have an opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know it was going to be filmed, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
There's just 9 cameras.
Well, I'm wearing
I thought
these...
you were hammered for half a second the way you said that.
No.
I know it's going to be filmed. I was like, oh, here we go. Let's get him out of here. Turn off the cameras.
I have a sock rule. I'm not wearing socks with these shoes, and I don't like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
would have changed had I known it was.
I think you look great, but this is like sort of a standard outfit for you.
I love a good. It's a Seinfeld bit, but we're in the future. Everybody's wearing the same thing: the silver jumpsuit with the V.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to be there now. I love wearing. I wear this jacket every day. It has a hole in it.
And the shirt. It's a short sleeve.
The shirt's it's a short sleeve shirt, but it probably got a little.
You are doing very well. You could, but I get attached to shirts and shit like that. And
I'm also a tall guy. To have a jacket that actually is the length of my sleeve is preposterous.
Yeah, that.
When I first started stand-up, one of the first bits I wrote, I never did it because even as a beginner, I knew it was terrible. I was going to be like, you know that feeling when you go to a store and you buy something and it fits perfectly? What's that like? That was the bit.
That's funny.
You think that's good?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, you bailed on the delivery. Of
course.
If you just set it up with "I'm so tall" shit that you hit with that, they'd love it. Then you'd be sympathetic.
Thank you, Billy.
Instead of the tyrant that you are outside.
I love that only Pete can have a joke that he threw away when he first started, and then but I'm gonna throw it out now.
I was actually just talking to my lady about that. When are you guys that way? When I write a joke, it's there forever. You know what I mean? Like, I'll never lose it.
Oh, I could. He's not like that. You don't do that at all. You put him away, right?
Every once in a while, they come out randomly.
Sure.
If something like comes back up, I don't know, something happened. Like I don't know. It just for some reason it just clicks.
That's what I'm saying. I have a bit about Happy New Year and saying Happy New Year, and then while I was doing it, I was like, it's weird that we say these things to each other, like, have a good weekend, which I think is really funny, that we're just like, I'm thinking about your weekend. right. Like, some guy cuts your hair, and then he's like, I'm blessing your weekend.
Yeah.
Like, if you get laid, text me the word finance. I want to know about your weekend.
Finance.
And it was just kind of like, so that, I wrote that, and I think it was like 2008 I wrote that joke. But then you're riffing. It's like another type of riffing where you're riffing old stuff, but you're doing it with your 15-year chops, and you can make it work.
I think maybe you just write timeless stuff.
New Year's.
People can just come. Yeah, New Year's happens.
Once a year, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the evergreen comedy of Pete Holmes.
It's funny that you say that, and I know you didn't ask, but when I would drive to a college, like in buttfuck, like I've been to the Upper Peninsula many times to do colleges and stuff.
The UPI.
I'd start to get nervous, and then I remembered that everybody has a couple things in common. Like, everybody wants to be loved, and everybody is afraid of, like, death and loss. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I love when he breaks it down. Like, when Pete'll get heavy on you.
No, I'm saying
you
didn't go to.
If you're going
you didn't go to Cuba. It was the Upper Peninsula, Michigan. You didn't have to break it down that far. People just want shelter and a sandwich. Still gonna be. Those are like Detroit Lion fans or Packer fans.
Billy, not everybody wanted to hear my cutesy observations, but if you were going to a show at a refrigerator or air conditioning repair nooner, you can't go up and be like, I was looking at the back of an ice pack the other day. Nobody gives a fuck. But if you say, sometimes I worry that there's a killer in my back seat, they're like, I've done that. Because everybody has similar fears.
No, I get it.
Like your dream.
Huh?
By the way, what was the girl feeling when she said you're going to kill yourself? Because you were that girl.
All right, so I was the girl. Okay, finish it. I'm liking this. Okay,
You're
so far I'm buying this script. So I'm the girl.
Any good therapist would tell you to break down your dream. You can say you were the girl, even when you were speaking
Isn't that
inaudibly.
hacky therapy? That just said, you're the girl. Yeah, everything is you, and it's your reality. And fucking 4:45, 15 more minutes of this shit.
Riding out the clock.
You're repeating relationships. The exact relationships you wanted to get away from are familiar to you. So then you're repeating those. You have to break these cycles. All of this you can read in the back of self-help books.
If that character does come up for you, please play that at some point. Just like a fucking beaten down therapist.
I went for years. I just finally was like, I'm never not going to have problems. And it's just like, this is fucking stupid. Like, you're not going to undo this. Like, I'm just going to, like, this is tangled knot, and it's just going to be this straight thread again. And then I'm just going to be like, oh. And then that's just going to be me for the rest of the time. Would you like some dip? Yes, it isn't. It's going to get wound up. Shit's going to happen. Some stuff's going to work. Some stuff isn't. And it's just like, it just fucking creeped me out after a while. It just was weird.
You figured it out.
It's kind of a scam.
Jay, you said something the other day also.
Oh, it's not a scam.
We all saw each other yesterday.
Dude, you were like 2 weeks away from joining a fucking cult.
Starting a cult. Starting a cult. Please get it clear.
Infiltrating, taking over. Pete Holmes.
Like that.
Everybody wearing the same jacket with an armpit
One hole.
The sign of the leader.
And he's slowly becoming Jesus. He didn't come straight in with the bare feet. He just stopped with the socks.
Those are slip-ons.
Slowly becomes the Messiah.
Give no thought to what you should wear. It's no big deal. That's a Jesus quote. Jesus
No, it isn't.
quote. Yes, it
You're
is.
just another guy who came out here and started surfing, and now you think you understand the environment.
I would be so scared to be your therapist if I was like, well, how does that make you feel? Isn't that kind of a typical question? Just like, seriously. Is that what you got from me? You know how much this is an hour?
Oh.
You have any idea how long it took me to get here?
I'm not a cartoon.
You're a cartoon.
I actually said I said all my shit. You were talking about dreams earlier. You want to know a fucked up dream I had? I used to have this reoccurring dream. It was a nightmare when I was a kid that there was this giant fucking thing coming to get me. I didn't know what it was. It was shapeless and it was loud, and I knew it was going to fucking hurt me. I couldn't figure out what it was, and I gradually worked it out. I figured, you know what it was? It was when I was in the crib, and I didn't understand people, and it was my dad yelling at my mom or screaming someone on the phone. As far as I fucking know, screaming. And I just knew it was like this bad thing, and it was going to get me. Yeah. Figured that out, right? There you go, you cunt. So a little deeper than you thought, all right? I don't even have a boogie board.
Not even a boogie board. I had that same dream.
You're out of your mind to go surfing, by the way.
I feel bad that you won't go in the ocean.
Are you
I feel bad that you've never flown over the ocean like low, where just about maybe a quarter mile away from where you surf and see what's in that fucking water.
Oh, I see it.
No, you don't.
Garbage Island, sharks, what?
No, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Garbage Island?
I've learned how to fly a helicopter over the last year, right? And I've started flying out over the ocean. And dude, the shit that I have seen,
That's safe?
just large. Dude, it's way fucking safer than driving down the highway. Trust me. Flying out over there. And I don't know what the fuck it was. You're just flying with your instructor. He's like, "What the fuck is that?" And then, is that a whale? Is that a great white? You know, you're in the air, and then you look, and then there's some jackass floating on this. It's like that thing could swallow that dude and his board whole. It's true. If there was one piranha in a swimming pool, would you go in? Wouldn't you say, "Get that out of there"? But you'll go in the ocean where all the sharks that aren't in captivity. It's an old joke I used to do, but it's fucking true.
You just did what we were talking about. You did an old riff.
It slid in.
Yeah, it slid in. I saw that. No, I've walked through the shallow end, like surrounded by sand sharks and stuff, fully convinced.
The shallow end?
The shallow end of the ocean.
I just want to know where you're surfing.
I've had whales swim under me and stuff. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah, dude, all of that shit is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all yeah, sure.
But I mean, like...
I've been to the circus and saw a tiger go right by and I could smell it. That was fucking amazing.
I can smell it.
That was that fucking close.
It smells like 50 cats.
It doesn't mean... doesn't mean it's a... I don't know, whatever. You know, what am I being pushed for? Enjoy your hobby.
I'm with you, but it's one of those things that you just can't, like, live in fear sort of thing. That's the thing for me. Every time I get in the ocean, I'm kind of like going to the universe, like, I'll be in your dangerous part. Kumail calls the ocean God's basement. I think that's so funny. And when you go in God's basement, you're like, I ain't afraid of your hobby kits. Your billiard table.
That's tight.
I just like how you just made yourself out to be the stud in that story. I'm going out to the most dangerous parts of the planet. I'm Pete Holmes. This is a new show on Discovery.
In the shallow end.
The shallow end.
Your little badass hat. Today I'm going to stand in the shallow end with nurse sharks.
But here's the thing. Paranoid people, so you have some paranoia about the ocean, are correct.
No, I read enough on it. I read enough about it. It started with, like, the classics. Blackbeard, Moby Dick, all of that shit. Keel haul you right through a perfect storm. If you ever read that book, they go through a chapter of what it's like to fucking drown and how your brain's still alive when you're dead. Dude, it's the most fucked up thing you ever read. And, I'm allowed to be afraid of something.
No, you absolutely
like, I am not good at that. I don't want to try. Like, I know my limitations. Like, I rode a motorcycle for like 3 months last year. I was like, this is fucking stupid. I'm not that guy. I am riding in fear.
I should do a helicopter.
Yeah. Helicopters, they're safe, though.
I'm sure. I know.
They're totally safe. You do a pre-flight. You go drive down the fucking highway. You're basically flying in formation with 20 people who have not done any examination on their car. They're texting. They're hammered. They don't know where they're going. You're not in radio contact with them. I mean,
You're not in radio.
Like, you don't know what they're going to fucking do.
That's my favorite. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You don't know what they're going to do. You don't just go up there flying. The big thing, though, is the drones. All these jerk-offs that just buy a drone.
Yeah, there's drones all over the place.
Yeah.
So I was in my
over.
backyard and saw one hover above me the other day, and just came in, was clearly looking down, and it's weird. I don't
fucking creeps. And there was somebody on the other side.
You know who it was?
No. Yeah.
When it starts to wobble, that's when you know.
Just jacking it. Just fucking. Look
at him.
Yeah, rake those leaves, you fucking bastard. Rake those leaves.
It's probably your old gardener, man. Checking in on you.
Yeah.
Trying to see if you really get your cousin
Traded in the truck.
Wants to know what's up.
Are you a technology guy, Jay?
No, I don't know. I hate it. I want my phone to do. I don't want anything. My next car, the car I own right now, no GPS, none of that. Next one I want, no GPS, none of that.
What are you, in the mob?
No, I like a simpler time. We were talking about it today on my podcast. That's the Crab Feast podcast on all things comedy every Tuesday.
No one is watching this.
I know.
I just want to shout out to the
joke.
one guy. He's got a drone flying with one hand.
Sean.
He's watching that. Yeah, talking that Boston accent, Jay.
He likes it. Hey. I miss that stuff. I missed it. Like, we were talking with Mike Coster, and he had snuck into a Beastie Boys concert and hopped 2 fences and got on stage into the green room. And he's like, the only reason I was there is because he got separated from his buddies. And you can't get separated from anyone now. Just like, where are you? Drop a pin and boom. I miss the times, no cell phone Saturday.
It's all creepy.
You know what I mean? No cell phone
I rented a car
Saturday.
the other day, and they go to me, what's your cell? And they go, is this your cell phone number? And
Yeah.
this is the one we have on record, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm like, yes, it is, because I was getting bullshit thing, right? It wasn't that bad, but it was a good phony one. And then they go, we need a second number. I go, I don't have a second number. That's all I have. Well, can we have your wife's number? They actually said at one point, what about your parents? And I looked at him. I go, I'm not giving you my parents' phone number. And she actually laughed. And she goes, you got to give me something. So I'm like, 917-828-1234. And she's like, that came up as an invalid number. It's like, I'm not fucking giving you another number.
Oh, well, we did this on
What are you gonna-
the first podcast, but everybody, 323-668-0986. That's 323. We're all going to try to use the same number.
The same fake
for
number to
everything,
every
for every grocery store,
have you
and when they
tried it?
try to track us. Yeah, well, it's one of my old numbers from... but we're all going to, collectively, all podcast listeners
What's it gonna do?
Should. It's 323.
But what's it going to do?
Oh, like buying groceries in fucking multiple states at the same time. Like, they won't...
We'll fuck up the grid.
You know what's happening? Al's getting all credit for it.
Yeah.
Al's like Ralph's reward card is like, ding, ding, ding.
You don't get anything back for that at all.
At the pump,
amount
you
of
do.
the amount of information they want now, like you do a fucking acting gig, they want to take a copy of your passport. I always just go, no. It's my fucking identity. I'm fucking playing, hey, put the fucking gun down, you cunts. Like, that's my line, and I'm out. You're going to get my fucking passport? No. I was able to get paid.
It's not a blockbuster film. Not doing it.
See, that's the thing. All you just say is no. I'm not doing it, and then they
then they
throw.
back off.
Well, this is the standard procedure. Blah blah. Then eventually they'll call somebody, and then they go fine, and then they act like they're making an exception. You don't give somebody your fucking passport.
That's why I love you, though.
At all.
Because you do it. We all want to say no, but you will say no.
No, because I don't sometimes. Yesterday when I did that other thing, they made me sign some fucking release on your thing, and then they go, hold up the thing you signed and take a picture of it, and I was fucking tired. I'm like, what am I, a hostage? Like, what's going on? And I did it, and I was so fucking mad at myself. Like, why did I just do that? It's like, no, I'm not doing it. I signed it. You're going to have the video of me on the show.
Yeah.
Like, what is
You were
this
on the
creepy
show.
fucking... It's that drone guy again, fucking jerking off. These goddamn pictures. These fucking struggling actors. They'll do anything.
Back to the drone thing. So I was at my parents' for Thanksgiving, and it's up in near Palo Alto, and the guy across the street, nice neighborhood, I see something go overhead that is sizable. I mean, it's as big as this stage, easy.
No.
And just go... And then I see this nerd and his fucking nerd kid just running down the block. And it was humongous. They're loaded, and it was the size of this stage, no problem. And you can see like really fucking big.
No,
and so
the
you got to be
FAA
worried
is
about that, right?
Yeah,
Because you got
no.
all kinds of assholes.
They
at the
have
beach.
to get no. Someone's going to die first, and then they'll find. They only had one went over a Southwest flight. Some
Whoa.
fucking jerk off. It had like a 50-pounder. Dude, that they got 2 engines, so maybe you'd be all right. But you're on final approach. This fucking guy is there coming in for a land and lining up, and this thing just goes right over the top.
Dude.
Yeah, you can't do that. You're not allowed. I don't want to be all nerdy.
We need
you're
like
not
a-
allowed to enter that. You
we
can't
need-
enter that fucking air. Like the amount of there's guys in Mexico they're flying drugs in with them. Now they fly
Of
drugs in.
course. You know what we need is like a tiny air traffic control with like mice pilots that are, that are like, you're not clear for this area. Please land, and we offer you free cheese.
I say we go back to the monkeys on them like we used to do with the Rockets. We dress them up in little captain's fucking outfits. Do that shit. Just flying around. Just sitting up there, monkeys flying, right?
It is pretty fucking weird.
That's Palo Alto, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's probably the next thing.
No, my neighbor has one of those.
Has a giant thing the size
It's not,
of this.
who wants this one? You want a little one.
Well, this is the one you can put the monkeys in. You know what I mean? That's the one you want. You put the monkey, you fly him around. Then people are like, oh, you're going to be up there in the helicopter. You're like, that monkey's actually flying a plane. And you're like, no, it's really that guy down there.
Yeah, but if
still
a monkey
cool.
knows how to fly and it doesn't want to die, it's way better than some person who doesn't give a fuck who's on the ground. That's the thing. You know what I mean? It's just up there.
That's a good point.
Oh, you should have to
fucking thing.
strap something you love to the drone to fly it.
Yeah, but there's nothing you love more than your life, so you're never going to be more careful than someone who's up there. Pete, we can do this all night.
You wouldn't settle for a household pet?
What's that?
Like a beloved pet in the drone?
If it's a dog, people love dogs. They do. They fucking love dogs. What kind of a person would put a dog on a drone? Like the amount of shit.
People go nuts.
That you would go
I
nuts.
just got a
Free
dog, and
t-shirts
people
and
go
dogs.
nuts to
What
tell
kind
you
of-
what to do. They're like,
No, but you got a dog-
what do you feed your dog? Like backseat dog raising.
You
like,
dropped.
I
remember
dropped a dog.
You dropped Nick Thune's dog. He picked up
Yeah.
Nick Thune's, like, what is it, a
Mikey.
French bulldog? And,
Yeah. God
rest
and
his
just
soul.
held it, and then he thought it was like a cat, and he just fucking
Oh,
dropped it.
no!
Tough call.
Yeah, and people were mad about that.
Mikey's tough. Mikey's tough, though.
Dude!
Listen, he was a little dog. So you pick him up, it's like holding a cat.
No, it isn't.
I know now.
Bill's
See,
upset.
but
I
it's
saw
Jack
the reason-
Russell, a fucking bulldog. That's like dropping a cinder block.
Yeah,
He's a Frenchie.
Did he
No.
land on his face?
he did land on his
Of course
face.
he did. It wham, yeah.
He didn't. Well, cats have the wherewithal to
And you
put
know
him
what?
out.
Pete didn't care. There wasn't an ounce of him that gave a
He
shit.
didn't get
I
hurt.
didn't really care. No, I cared. I felt it's one of the worst. When something's already been done to something that can't represent itself, and then Nick is
That's
like, "Oh
what it
no," and I'm like, "Maybe he's okay."
And
but
then,
like,
and then I saw a picture of you holding Nick's baby, and I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
There we go again.
Not good.
Fucking guy doesn't
they
learn his lesson.
immediately handed me the baby. I'm good with a baby.
He took the baby.
I know where baby bends. This is an old bit, but dogs, I don't know where they bend. They're rigid. They're like tables. You got to
grew up
go
with
in.
cats the whole time.
Yeah, you can bowl a cat.
You can throw a cat.
You can't hurt a cat.
You know what? I never grew up with cats, but I know that you can drop a cat and it's fine. And I know you could drop a dog. So I don't understand someone of your intellect, of all fucking breeds. Didn't
Well, let's
know you
ask
could
ourselves
just-
what the dog was feeling.
Huh?
It's a dream callback. Yeah, I should have fucking better known better.
So you got a dog. What kind of dog did you get?
He's a golden retriever mix,
Ah, nice.
and he's a little guy like that, little fluffy
Puppy?
tail.
You got a puppy?
He's
or
a
you got-
perma-pup. He'll look like a pup forever.
Oh, there you go.
And
He
he's
got
great.
a dog too heavy that he couldn't pick up, so there wouldn't be any problems.
No, I pick him up. He doesn't know my reputation in the community.
He'll find out.
The dropper.
We had a dog growing up that my sister got, like, from her high school boyfriend, and nobody knew how to raise a dog in my family, so, like, we would just, like, leave it outside on the run in the wintertime, and, like, we never knew to take it in. My buddy would come over and was like, dude, you got to take the dog. And I'm like, he's a dog. I thought they were, like,
He's wearing
good.
fur.
Yeah, and we give him, like, bologna to eat. You know what I mean? We just gave him bologna, and my buddy's like, dude, what are you doing to this dog? I'm like, what do you want, man? There's no food in the house. He's getting bologna. And then it's like, it's an ongoing joke that Ishkabibble just had a tough life growing up in the Larson household. You know what I mean?
Ishkabibble?
Ishkabibble Murdoch DeVito.
Was
My sister and a boyfriend were Billy Joel fans. I think that was his drummer's name.
But not dog lovers.
No, not at all. We got stuck with them, and then she died the day before my grandmother, and we buried her in the backyard.
Next
Who?
to your grandma.
Me and my buddies.
no, the dog or your grandma?
We buried her in the front yard. We did the whole memorial. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. My mother came home the next day, and she from the hospital with my grandmother, and I go, hey, the dog died. And she goes, I didn't get to say goodbye. And I was like, oh, Jesus, this is hardcore.
We got
And
a
we wrapped
dog.
it
We
up
have
with
two,
Nana.
and we got one because Natasha Leggero found a dog in the street. And
A street dog.
Street dog. So they take it in, and
Take the collar off.
they-
Throw it away. They go, this is our homeless
This
dog.
is
We
our
have
dog.
it now.
Do you know that Blanche, the dog?
Yeah.
And so they discovered that this dog is pregnant, and my kids are going to soccer right by where Natasha lives. She's living with another comic, Duncan Trussell, at the time. So we take the kids and we go up there to see the puppies because they discovered that this dog is pregnant. That's why, and so she's got 5 brand new baby dogs, and we go, and the kids are looking at these dogs, and I'm sort of getting myself. We pick the one out that we're going to get, and then I realize I'm on the road nonstop, back and forth. What am I going to do to my wife? 2 kids, 2 dogs. I'm constantly on the road. Who knew that the 2 dogs? That's better. So for them to sort of hang out with each other, but we just give up. And Johnny Pemberton claims the dog, the Vernon, and he has the dog for 2 fucking days, and then just shows up on our doorstep with this puppy, and
The whole puppy? It wasn't just
like,
look what happened.
No, it shows up with this. He goes, we can't do it. We can't take care of this dog, and that's how I have my second fucking dog.
I feel like that's what I resented, that I didn't feel like enough people told me. I didn't have the parents
What
that
you
were
were
like,
in
it's a
for.
big responsibility. This dog, it's a rescue dog, and it was a spaz. We had it trained, and that made a huge difference. But when I first had it, I was like, oh, if you're looking to feel really bad every time you leave the house and be assaulted every time you come home, get yourself a dog. Like, just something that doesn't understand you. Like, my girlfriend made fun of me because I would, like, take him to the beach, and then I'd feed him his favorite food, and I'd give him a snuggle, and then later I'd be like, now he's just ignoring me. Like, I didn't... And then he'd be whining. I didn't know what he wanted. And, like, you try and put him in a crate, like there's a fucking prison, and he's flipping out. And in the morning, he'd be so excited that you'd be letting him out. Like, 6 hours later, he's peeing on himself and shit. I was like, nobody, I know. And then you have fucking dog people, those lunatics that are like, wow, you should let him sleep on your face. Like, that would be better. That would solve everything if you would fuck the dog with your dick. Fuck him. He wants you to fuck him with your... No sympathy from that community.
Why don't you just go back to cats? That shit in your house in a box.
Listen.
Dude, I like how you're needy and you want attention from the fucking thing, but you're like a cat guy. Cats are like the fucking, they're just
No,
like,
I understand. And they
cats
purr.
come to you when they want their attention. And
That's the observation, is you look for your cat. If you find your cat, it's like a B-list celebrity sighting. It's like seeing Pauly Shore in your house. You're like, oh my God, the cat! And you try and trap it and take a picture with it. Just like Pauly Shore. But your dog is with you the whole time. He's always there. Like, you look for, like, escape. Like, if we feed him and run out of the house, he won't know we're gone. It's the complete opposite. So, like, I'm seeing myself reflected back in the dog. Like, my own neediness, my parents' neediness. But then I had a train, and now I fucking love it. I really do.
Yeah, but you got
to
to know the trainer's got to teach you what to do, or it will go back.
And no, I agree. And that's good.
Okay.
No,
Also, I needed to train myself. There was a big part of me that was like, he's okay, he's okay, he's okay. Like, I was being, like, overly sensitive about that. I would never leave him outside. It was, like, 70 degrees. I'm like, it looks cold. Like, I couldn't handle it because he can't be like, Peter, I'm fine. Like, he couldn't say that.
I'll tell you this. Late in life, Ishka was, like, the most legit dog. I didn't put her on a run anymore. I would literally open the back door and be like, see you in a bit. And she'd go down the park, hang out, and then, like, an hour and a half later, she'd be out front and be like, come on in.
See,
dog
that's
was
amazing.
baller.
Yeah,
and
the reason I mentioned, I feel like my 2 guys are going to die any day. Because, well, we have this, the new house has no fences at all. And we have a major coyote problem. And I don't know, they're starting to come around. Coyotes will, it's a trickster. So they'll pretend one is hurt and fucking limp along on the back pad.
There's, like, coyote SAG cards.
Yeah.
I'm the limping guy. I limp.
Yeah,
I'm convincing. We tried to let Bill do it. I should have picked another name. We tried to let Charlie do it. He doesn't do a good whimper.
No, they did. So I hear this fucking commotion the other day. This is 1 p.m. and they're at the back, like, trying to get out, and they think they're tough guys. So in the old house, he had a possum underneath the fucking deck. It was wringing its neck. And until we put the hose on it, they have no fear. And you've seen my dogs; they're 8.5 pounds total, just soaking wet.
Total.
Like,
Yeah. Switchblades, cigarettes.
Yeah, no, they're these little Tijuana alley dogs. My mom was found in the street, and just they go diving off this deck. I go running after them, but they chase a coyote that is so fucking big, they're gonna die any day. There's no way that they can fucking make it.
Get a fence.
Peeking over it, it's fucking. I don't know.
It's a big commitment too. You get one, and then you're with it 15 years. It's a long time to be with a fucking dog.
Oh, they're awesome. I got my dog's out of its fucking mind, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love the damn dog.
Did you
Drives
love
me
it
up the
right
wall.
away?
No, because it was a pit bull, and I was like, that thing's psychotic. Get it out of my house. And then, they have you foster it. Then I fell in love with the thing.
What do you mean
And-
foster it?
They go, oh, you're just fostering it. You stay with it because they know you're going to develop feelings. And then you're like, you fall in love with the thing. And then I was right. It is. It's a fucking psycho. It was a year and a half old. I don't know what other people did to it. But it has like this small circle of people that it loves, and everybody else it just views as a threat. It's a fucking.
So when
nightmare.
I came over and you first got the dog, you told me don't look the dog in the eyes. Just walk into
No,
the
I
other
found
room.
he's like this. She's like this top level predator. Like when she goes for you, she makes no noise. Like my trainer was just going like she's possessive. So once she bonded with the trainer, after she tried to kill him. Then she loved him because I left because it was just like, well, I guess fuck that guy now. Now we're a team, right? Starts doing this thing. And so then he thought the dog was cool, trust me, brought another dog with it. And my dog, like, just decided I'm going to kill this other dog and didn't make any noise, just sort of subtly, because dogs feed off of vibes. And he didn't want the dog to sense it, just sort of kind of just, went like this.
Oh,
and was
my
like
God.
going right to the neck. And at the last second was going to do that. And it's lightning fucking quick. And my trainer was able to see it, so I never walked it with the dog again. So it's this weird thing where it's like I'm in love with this complete maniac. It's a fucking maniac, and yeah.
I had a
Somebody said
buddy
in
with
there, you got to get him early. It's like adopting a kid, You want to get it before somebody's fucked it up too bad,
It's already fucked.
or you're gonna have to deal with it. It's true. Or you're gonna have a lot of work ahead of you.
My buddy had a blue nose.
People who adopted off the record would agree with that, but this day of hashtags
Joe
would be like
Rogan, yeah.
insensitive.
My buddy had a blue nose, and I would not look at it because I was scared of pit
blue
bull.
nose?
Blue nose pit bull, right?
Yeah.
Well, you got this weird thing. Like, if you meet a person, you're like, hey, how you doing? You kind of look around. But with dogs, you just stare at them right in the fucking eye.
Yeah.
And if you have, like, an aggressive dog, that's like if you were sitting on the subway and someone was just fucking staring at you. At some point, you'd be like, dude, what the fuck is your problem? And that's them barking and growling. And all dogs do it. It's just when a pit bull does it, you pee yourself a little bit. People don't like it. So they go like, Cocker Spaniels evidently bite more fucking people every year. I don't know. When I was a kid, it was all about Dobermans. Dobermans were the ones you didn't want, German Shepherds. And then somewhere like the pit bulls have just had this dynasty of like, they're just the worst fucking dog ever. You can't get it. And the owners are horrible and blah, 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 all this shit. So.
And then a pit bull bit a kid's head off at a barbecue.
Right.
It was-
But golden retrievers bite people all the fucking time. But it's just the car to have.
But they're cute.
Yeah, if you're trying to be a Kennedy and have the fucking white picket fence and you're all dressed with the same khakis and white shirt for that fucking family photo, maybe throw the football in one picture, you get the golden retriever.
Skiing.
Yeah.
I got a golden retriever.
Yeah. You look like it. You do. You
John
look
Mulaney
like
said,
Billionaire Boys Club guy.
he said, I look like a golden retriever with Down syndrome. That's what he said.
Nice. I love John Mulaney.
I don't know why I'm laughing and everyone else is like, it's over the line. It's over the line for me, for jokes about Pete. What were you saying about the blue nose?
It's over. So
I just kept picturing a dog wearing a Bluetooth. That's all I was doing.
what's that?
Hello? Yeah, I'm on my way to the airport. I'm working in the tiny cat division. You got it. You
Transporting
got it.
them.
You got it.
The little mice around there.
You got it.
I don't even know what happened. A lot of agreeing there.
Do people ask you a lot if that money, how far that money went down on Breaking Bad?
What money?
The money that you lay down on. How far, at what point did it become just pieces of paper?
I'll tell you what is interesting about that is that they thrived on nerd questions like that.
Yeah.
Where they would
Wait.
they meant because people just can't enjoy something now, and they're just like, that's totally fake money. And then somebody's got to top that. Well, how far down do you think it goes? It's probably all bullshit. It's probably like empty egg cartons or some shit like that. It's all. It's just
That's
can't
not
just
what
enjoy
I
it.
said.
Why would you give a fuck? But this is what I loved
interesting.
about the writers on there. Like,
It's interesting.
is it?
It's interesting.
It's kind of a cunty question.
No, it's not.
How far down? What is interest? I don't. Everything that went on in that fucking episode.
Yes,
You want to know how far down the fucking fake money went?
I do.
Why? Why? I want to know. That's more
Because I wanna
fascinating
know-
to me than anything Vince Gilligan ever wrote. Was how the fuck You want to know the answer to that question.
Because, a little story, you and the guy watching them stack it. The prop guy's like, I got all the real money, because you would feel it. You'd feel it in your back.
Everybody
I
sounds
feel like Princess and the Pea. You'd be like, I think it's egg cartons, 10 down.
Everybody sounds like Fozzie Bear at some point in one of your stories. This was a deal. What they did was they actually worked out how much
it is? It's so everyone wants to know
how much money, because I'm not going to answer the boring one. I'll answer the better one. They actually worked out how much money Mr. White would have at that point. And they worked out in what denomination, how many hundreds, how many 20s, whatever, and basically what that would look like. So they made it a realistic thing because they thrived on people going like, oh, he would have had way more money than that. He would have, like when we robbed the train thing, they worked out the timing of it with the chemicals to take that chemical out and put the water in, how long it would take, just so they could shoot down those nerds on the thing. It would be like, actually, I'm not a conductor, but in my esteemed view, that would take at least another 7. Epic fail. Like they just loved shooting that down. They loved shooting it down. So to answer your fucking question, it was obviously Stacked Around was all real. And then, but we had to keep getting up, so it didn't make sense if you actually put it all down. I mean, the real fake money was but inside they had something else to lie down on because obviously after every take we got up, it would tip over, and there's time involved.
How much would it estimate to? Did you give the? Now I want to know the dollar amount.
Yeah, the prop guy tell you exactly what the formula was.
No, I don't remember how much. I don't remember. I mean, dude, I did like 2 episodes, 3 episodes of the thing. I was just happy to be there.
Were you really on the phone with Skyler? Just kidding.
No. No, but I will tell you, I was a total nerd when I got the part on it because I was like totally invested from the first week and I watched it. So to get on it, all of a sudden 4 seasons in was like getting sucked into your TV, and then all of a sudden you were interacting and it was and then all of a sudden it was like in the future, and I'm like, all right, I'm looking for Jesse. Fuck, what happened to Jesse? You're like, and it's like I don't want to know, but like I wanted to know, but like. I kind of had a rule where I wouldn't look at anything or try to guess what was going on just because being a fan of the show. But I did, if they were shooting any scene, I would hang to watch it because the acting was ridiculous. And there is one scene, I used to know what episode it was. It was some episode, I think it was one when I was in the Saul Goodman's office with Lavelle. I think it was when the guy tripped over the orange. I actually did, the next thing that they were filming was that Unreal meth lab that they had in the car wash. And I was like, can I just see it? Blah, blah, blah. And they were like psyched that I was into the show like that. So they let me see it. And then they did one take. And I literally stood next to like the sound guy as Walter White, like Bryan Cranston in character as Walter White, like fucking walked right by and answered like that elevator thing there. It was so fucking cool. And I remember ruining the episode with my wife because it was some awesome dialogue. And I was like going, I was standing right there. I was standing right there. I was in the lab. It was fucking awesome.
That's
it was fun. It was amazing. So
I loved about the show, and even like Better Call Saul, and there's like which I'm watching now. I think is fucking fantastic. Is Vince Gilligan must have been a huge comedy fan. Like so to have you, Lavelle, and then to
Odenkirk?
name the company Madrigal.
Odenkirk?
Is the company named Madrigal?
Yeah, the evil German company.
No, he had a couple
Madrigal.
UCB guys in there. There was a lot of, I don't.
What does he
Tim
like
Watley,
about them?
man.
Does he think they're like open or interesting, or did he?
Yeah, was
I
that
don't
ever
know, but it
discussed?
was great that he did that because comics forever could have played those roles, but they just see us telling jokes, and it's so funny if you listen to a comics act. Most of it is the drama of their life. Like I think it's just because you're just seeing them telling jokes that people just think that your whole day is just ooga and like fucking red nose and big dumb shoes, and it's just like it's like we're sleeping on futons, we're having problems paying rent, we have issues with whoever we're dating or whatever, and I mean we're damaged individuals, so it's just playing like, dude, half the fucking stories you tell about your interactions in a cul-de-sac could be a B story in Better Call Saul. So.
He's an interaction away from going to jail. Just the way.
him?
Never been in a fight in my entire life.
Neither have I, but
I get the feeling
because
that-
people are scared.
Yeah. Neither Mike
Pitbull,
from
man.
Breaking Bad's probably never been in a fight either
Yeah.
because he's just terrifying.
I love this shit. I love any opportunity I get to act in any dramatic role, and like even on the NBC show that I'm on right now, which is a lot of me walking in going, "All right, guys, fire up the Xbox, quick! I got 15 minutes." But occasionally there's emotional moments, with my wife and shit like that, and I love it. It's my favorite part of the show. It's my favorite
Just
part
because
of
you never
everything.
get to do it. And then
Never
I
get to
think
do
all
it,
the drama
yeah.
people would love to do like comedy or something like so. The grass is always greener.
But to talk about with the comedians, yesterday we were all talking about Brody Stevens was doing warm up for this
Yes.
show. And
Energy.
He was describing
Describe it.
describing a group of comics, and he goes, "Did you say that these comics own houses, ladies and gentlemen?" Like,
Oh yeah,
they
no,
live-
that was I was on the Oddball
Yeah,
tour, comedy Oddball tour. They took a bunch of comics and threw them on this thing. We're doing this gig in the middle of Chicago, like Illinois, outside of Chicago, in some fucking giant tent or something like that. And he's up there, and they didn't even know what he was talking about. He was going, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the greatest lineups of comedians you're ever going to see. Some of the best comics in the country. Some of the greatest hours written today by these comedians. Ladies and gentlemen, these comedians have houses." And the crowd was just sitting there like, dude, like we have houses. I don't understand. All that other shit was impressive, but he totally people don't understand the squalor that we live in on the fucking way up. And I never even thought about that. That is an amazing accomplishment as a comic, telling jokes. To have a house of any fucking size is unbelievable, because you really start thinking, you start getting in your late 30s, you just, for me, I was sitting there going I am just going to be the fucking one-bedroom apartment guy forever, just wanting to get something, a
Which
place
brings
to sit
me
down.
into an interesting spot. It's like when we were starting out, all the comics that you started with, who was living in the worst situation? Have you met?
Don't name names, Jesus Christ.
No. I mean, I saw guys in San Francisco. There was a place where Janine Garofalo used to go sleep on the couch. Dana Gould. It was off lake, and it was on 21st, and there was 5 people in there at one point. And then there was a house in the inner Richmond district where they would just hang sheets, and there was fucking black mold everywhere. It was just, it was horrible. It was
I know.
terrible. Bad.
When Hannibal first moved to New York, he's been public about this. He slept on the train.
For how long?
He just didn't have a place. I don't know.
Are we talking days, hours, weeks?
Look, one day on the F train.
I'm just saying.
I'm already impressed. If you did the Coney Island run.
I always wondered what happens when you get to the end. They wake you up. Come on, buddy, you got to get up. And then you just stand up and walk across the platform to just sit down. You just keep waking up in Coney Island and Yonkers. Just going back and forth.
I think it's a weird time, though, because you start out as a comic.
Weird.
Sometimes
It's a weird time.
You don't know. You get so used to being in a certain level. You know what I mean?
In a different level.
Pete can't not just not talk. He's
can't.
got to talk when someone else is talking and say what they're saying.
He's the worst. He's sober. Wait till he gets a couple of fucking wines in him. You can't even get a fucking word in.
Well, rosés.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do Jay.
No, you're better when you're sober, because drunk you would have kept doing Brody Stevens
The whole
still
time.
be doing it. Yes. They're laughing. Keep doing it. Yes. Decision making.
Anyway,
It's really fucking annoying.
you get to a level, and then sometimes you got to learn how to get. It's not till you get past that level. You know what I mean? As a comic, do you get what I'm saying? Get used to it, and then you have to break through it.
If I didn't take.
Thanks for coming out, guys.
This is what it is.
It's been a lot of fun.
No, this is what it is.
No.
What you just saw was how every comedian has such fucking ADD that once the Pete Holmes moment happened, I had no idea even what the topic was, and I'm like,
Not all of us have.
I was sitting in a panic, going, give me the clue word. Give me the clue word that gets me back to the
I just
thing.
remembered comedians living in hard situations. I thought that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And then you say you get to a place. Oh, you mean
Well, then I'm saying, because we're saying guys that have houses, and then guys, he said what guys were living the toughest.
Yeah.
No, I just think at some point.
I lived in a condemned house for 14 months. Best 14 months of my life.
Really?
No kitchen, no hot water, outdoor shower. It was the best.
Turns out I had an alternate personality. We were starting an underground fighting
His name
ring.
was Pete Holmes. He repeated everything right.
We should do a remake of Fight Club. Where
I
you're
shared an office with this guy. Remember when we shared an office?
Yeah.
It was hilarious. It'd be Pete at his computer. He'd be like this. Take off his headphones. Did I tell you I almost booked an Apple commercial? I'd be like, no. He's like...
How long did that last? Was it...
What?
A little space? You guys do work together? Were you working on something
We had a
together?
comedy office for years.
Yeah.
Mulaney, me, you.
I took Mulaney's spot, and there was me, you, McCarthy, and Barron.
Birbiglia, Matt,
Barron was living there, kind of.
Barron. I had to. Yeah, Barron didn't.
How
work
many
out.
guys in an office? What was...
I was rotating. It was 4 at a time.
Oh, so you
That
had
people
time.
would
Everyone had a
leave.
desk.
Yeah. It's
Got
only
it.
$100 a month. Chelsea, 23rd and 7.
Wow.
For each of
Nice.
us.
Cross from a papaya dog.
Yeah. That's
Delicious.
Great steak and cheese.
But what you're talking about is like getting comfortable with certain levels. I think everybody does it. I think people compromise their...
I'm serious.
I'm serious too. Their hot dogs were fucking unreal. If you got one that was a little bit cooked, it's just you had to be in the mood, and when you were in the mood, it was fucking great. A little bit of mustard, that's it. All that other shit, you don't need all the bells and whistles.
Gotta have yellow mustard. You know you can't find a hot dog cart anywhere in New York that has yellow mustard?
No, I didn't know that.
That's a fact.
All right.
Tweet. You'll go and go, let me get yellow mustard. You go, you have yellow mustard? He goes, yeah, I got it. And I'm like, all right. He grabs the yellow thing, and it's spicy brown. You're like, dude, that's not yellow. I want yellow. They don't have it.
Yeah, and it gets that sweet taste to it. It's
I don't
fucking
want it.
awful.
Yellow mustard has 0 calories. What's going on?
What is in yellow?
Is that
A lot
true?
of mustard.
I think it's 0 calories.
I like
I
stone
remember
ground.
being like, what the fuck is going on? It's a food. It's made
What
of
is
a
it?
thing.
Yeah, it's made of seeds.
It's made of mustard seeds. And
they gotta
water.
throw something else in there.
Vinegar's in
And
there.
vinegar. Vinegar's got some cals.
Cows!
Well, I think if you just started spooning it into your mouth,
No,
eventually
0 is
you-
0.
No.
0. You could eat
How is 0
No,
plus
first of all,
0?
All
because
the mustard?
no.
all the mustard.
No.
You will die. You will
no,
get
you
no
won't.
energy
No.
from it.
They're allowed to say 0 calories, the way they're allowed to say 0 trans fats, and they're allowed to say there's no rat droppings in it. Believe me, if you sat there and shoveled that shit into your mouth, yeah, you would be.
Because you're saying it's 0.00013 calories, and
And
eventually
you just go
you'll-
like this. That's it. 0 calories. But if you were to take the whole fucking jar and go like this, you'd be up to like 3 or 4. You'd have to be. Hey, we got All Things Comedy merch down there. If you want to support the website, we always forget to say this. They got T-shirts. They got little
Official
pinatas.
mustard.
What else we got? Official mustard and all that type of thing to help us out if you would like.
about it.
Stop
What's the
by
name
there
of this
afterwards
podcast?
with the mighty.
Oh, it's just the All Things ATC Live.
Oh,
that's what
okay.
we're calling it. Yeah, All Things
I
Comedy
thought that was
Live.
the network.
Yeah. Oh, you went down to the studio. Did you like
I
it?
did.
It's nice, right?
That's very nice.
Recorded there today.
Joe DeRosa couldn't find the entrance. He's having an aneurysm. He was going in going, why do I have a podcast? Why did I do this? And he sat down and he was fine. I love a good panicked friend.
I had one
Yep.
of my greatest moments of my life with Joe DeRosa. I've never told you. I thought I would love it. We did a show together. We're leaving the show, and Joe goes, hey, walk out together. And I go, all right. So we walk out together. And then I see he's talking to someone, so I go talk to someone, and then he's still there, so I'm leaving. So I'm like, all right, man, taking off. He goes, I thought we were walking out together. I'm like, all right, let's walk. So we're walking. He goes like, I didn't like my set tonight. I didn't think I had a good set. I'm like, don't worry about it. It was fine. He goes, I didn't have a good set. Nobody liked it. I didn't have a good set. I'm like, dude, it was fine. You're fine. He goes, you know what's really bothering me? I go, what? He goes, the fact that you're not telling me right now that I had a really good set. I go, I said you did fine. He goes, yeah, but you're not saying I had a really good set. And I go, you want to know the truth? And he goes, what? I go, you did that story 3 times on the same show. Why don't you come up with a new story? You know what I mean? I think you should have come up with a new story. I think you kind of sold out. I think you bailed. And he goes, can't believe you'd say that to me right now. And I go, why? And he goes, because I'm hurting. I'm like, it's the truth. You're a veteran. You can take this. It's not a big deal. And then he goes, all right. And so I'm leaving. He goes, hey, I want you to do my podcast. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And he goes, well, when are you going to do it? I'm like, I don't know. Hit me up. And I go, I thought you were going to do ours. And he goes, I said I would do it, but I can only do weekends. I go, no, you didn't. And he goes, yes, I did. And I go, I texted you, and I said, hey, can you do this date? And you said, no, I can't. And he goes, no, I said I could, but only this date. And then you called me a retard. And I go, no, I didn't, because I don't use that word. I would never call you a retard. He goes, let's go right now. I go, $100. I go, I'll bet you $100 right now. And he goes, no, I'm not betting $100. I go, fine, 20. And he goes, all right. We shake on it. We bet 20. He pulls it up. Didn't call him a retard, called him an idiot. And I go, see? Called you an idiot. And he goes, all right. And I go, all right. Give me the $20. He goes, well, why am I going to give you $20? I told you, I texted you back. I'm like, yeah, but we bet on Retard Idiot. And I go, I want the $20. And he goes, are you really going to take this from me right now? And I took it out of his hand. I go, not only am I going to take this, I'm never going to spend it. And I'm going to tell everyone that I took it from you at your darkest moment.
Oh, that's
still got it in my closet just sitting there.
Jay Larson, everybody. Crowd Feast.
Thank you, guys.
Pete Holmes. You made it weird. Yeah, sure. You have a good time?
Yeah, I had a great time. Thanks for having me.
Keep it going for him. Thanks, dude. Hang out. Pete Holmes, everybody. Pete Holmes. You did this. You did this with Neil Brennan and the Airline Miles, and then with Pete, you went after him a little bit.
No. I don't go after anybody. You start with me, then I go.
All right. Okay. That's good. That's exactly what I say. And then
no. He tried to do the fucking you're the girl in the thing, and what did I say? I said, all right, I'm buying the script so far.
Yeah.
Let's see what you have. I sat back. I let to see what he had, and it was a bucket of horseshit, and I called him on it.
But that's
in my world. That's what happened.
All right.
I could be wrong.
I just feel guilty sometimes when I feel like I do the exact same thing when I lay into people on the street. And
dude, I'm fine with what you do.
All right, good.
I don't mind that you do that. I'm glad you fired your gardener. Someone had to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe if somebody did that a long time ago, he wouldn't have got boozed up and fucked up his throat.
But you know what the thing is?
He would have looked in.
This is where I'd probably
mirror.
take it too far, is because I enjoyed it a little bit. I really did, because I sort of miss what I used to do, which is having difficult conversations with people. Like I had to call and had to reprimand somebody today a little bit, just nice counseling. I did it in the nicest possible way. I feel like I'm good at it. When I had a show, we did a show at the Comedy Store, Martin Lawrence didn't show up. And it was a room full of black people that expected to see Martin Lawrence. They did Thursday main room on Thursday night, which they never do. Oh, no. And so I walked in. They said, Al, you need to tell the crowd that Martin Lawrence isn't coming. I was like, yeah, no problem. Perfect. I really enjoy that shit. I want
to hear the story. So what did you say?
I said, ladies and gentlemen, now I have been having.
That's a bad start, dude.
But no.
I could see you seeing that crowd. Like, why is this half Mexican dude on stage? And I'm waiting for Martin Lawrence.
But the thing is, they had already seen David Spade. They saw Whitney Cummings. Then I went up next, and everyone was having great sets because it was a great crowd, and so they had seen a fantastic show. It wasn't like it, but. I guess the Comedy Store put Martin Lawrence's name up on the marquee. He wanted to just go and work some shit out. All of a sudden, he realized that they were selling the room based on his name. It sold out in 2 hours, and now he was pissed. And just to teach him a lesson, he fucking canceled. So I got up there and I said, ladies and gentlemen, we've had something come up. You're going to see one of the best shows and the lineup was truly fantastic. It was fucking just Sebastian, it was nonstop. Like, it was a lot of great comics. And so I told him that. And then the greatest thing happened is I was telling them Martin Lawrence wasn't coming and Bobby Lee was next, and Bobby Lee burst out of the curtain and goes, "What the fuck, bro? What the fuck are you doing? This is my intro? Telling a guy that someone else is not coming?"
Crowd lost it, right?
Crowd goes crazy, and I go, now, what's happening, folks? It's like, this is the worst possible way you could bring somebody up. And then I told a story about I had to do a set after Rodney Dangerfield died, and it was right after, and it was a big TV, like TV writers were there. It was a showcase for me to see if I was going to match up with a writer and get it for a TV thing. And Sunda, you know Sunda from the Laugh Face? She goes, ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest comics of all time has passed away, and we are going to hold our heads down in a moment of silence. And put her head down, and
Jamie Masada.
She fucking held it for a minute. The longest minute, just put her head down. Everyone's looking around again. Didn't say anything after that, and now, ladies and gentlemen, Al Madrigal. I fucking walked. So I told that story, and I said, so what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is go crazy because this is tough. You're going to see a fantastic show. He's a great comic, good friend of mine. Fucking everybody went nuts, and it was a fine, and nobody asked for their money back. Wow. So there you go. All right.
There you go. Comedy Store winning that battle.
We're going to do something, and hopefully this is a regular bit. Ladies and gentlemen, and we want to do this for the last 10 minutes, and we're going to bring up a surprise guest. One of my favorite comics. When I was in college, I used to watch his Young Comedian special. Then they did Short Attention Span Theater, Stand Up, with Wally Collins on. So this is me knowing I wanted to be a comic. Would watch this guy all the time. Love him. A big round of applause. And for a segment that we're going to call How Can Al and Bill Help Fred? Please welcome to the stage Fred Stoller, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, Fred? How are you, man?
Sit anywhere you want. Sit next to Bill.
I can't follow either one of those guys. I don't.
that's crazy.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. Well, I already met you backstage first time. I was intimidated. You'd call me a pussy. A lot of those blue collar.
You thought I was
guys.
gonna no,
Like a Nick DiPaolo. I thought, oh, you're a pussy. Why don't you do an hour on stage? Why'd you quit? I had people do that. I stopped for 17 years.
Oh yeah. No.
But you're a good guy.
No, I'm just a
really
sad
good guy.
kid that needs a club.
That's the other thing. I think it's a lot. It's got to be in your head, though, a certain amount of this. Like,
no, there are comedians that... I told you a story. There's a farmer's market table in the morning where I would go, and a comedian, a very aggressive guy.
You don't like aggression on any level.
I don't like when people bully me.
Yeah. That was so honest and hurtful.
Yeah. People like a guy like Don Herrera, no one would bully. You know, there's one guy, what do you mean comedy is depressing? It's the fucking best thing, you fuck pussy. I don't know. What do you mean you don't do an hour and 28 minutes? I follow Led Zeppelin. And I don't know what I'm saying. But why do you have a cat? I had cats. I don't want to tell you that. But my cat was great.
This
guy's been on Breaking Bad, and I was on Corey in the House. And
we do one of the greatest young comedian special ever. That thing still holds up. You, David Spade, Rob Schneider,
Drake
Sather.
It was funny because
Warren Hutchinson. I still remember Jan Karam. I still remember the whole fucking thing.
It's funny because I heard Rob Schneider on Mark Maron's podcast. What was your big break? The young comedian special with Dennis Miller. I'm listening, going, I was on that. Why wasn't that my big break?
You've been on... If you look at Fred's IMDb, it's like a fucking laundry list.
Scrolling through it.
Stop.
But I've never... It's a lot of things don't add up to... If I was just on one show as a regular, like Becker...
That's what your dream is, to be on Becker.
Yeah. So when these guys are, it's all good. I don't want him to hit. But
dude, I fucking love you, man. I don't.
No. Nick.
You want to sit?
I got intimidated.
Like
I had a bad
grade.
thing with
I lost
with what's his name? Man, maybe I didn't know his name. Joe Rogan. But I almost drowned twice.
Wait a minute.
Were you talking about
stay with the
before?
ADD thing here. No, we weren't. You're going ADD on us. Joe Rogan, you said something. You appreciated what he said about pot. Now
well,
he's bringing it to
I
the
never
mainstream.
really smoked pot. I've had bad experiences. But late in life, I realized, hey, I'd be an alcoholic if it helped me drink. But I wake up 3 hours later with a headache and dry and can't go back to sleep, Ativan. So I thought there must be something to this. Joe Rogan, he's not a knucklehead. He seems, but he's smart. So I thanked him for destigmatizing and helping me get into it. And he looked at me like I had 8 sores all over my head and was drooling by him.
So you've been smoking pot?
Huh?
You've been smoking pot?
Yeah. I like it. Because when you're drunk. But when this is working, you're not in reality. I'm walking around going, I know it sounds like Jewish Nebuchadnezzar, but I'm walking around going, I feel so good, I don't deserve this. I really feel, I took a sip of lemonade, I don't deserve it. I swear to God. I go, wow, I really felt guilty for drinking lemonade and being stoned. But it's better. I bumped into Morgan Murphy at the Comedy Store when I was thanking Joe Rogan for helping me, and And I don't want to, because there's a lot of people that hang out there because they had free weed that night. I never thought I'd be the guy who was sponsored by Speedweed putting free joints in my pocket. Oh, they got a lot on the table, yeah. And so he thought I was one of these hanger-oners. And so the thing with pot, when it's new to it at such a late age, it's the stuff, you're like a hack. Oh, everything's one, and, hacky, the equivalent of generic hippie shit. But it's all good.
I did that. I didn't smoke weed till later in life, like late 30s. I found I was like, I'm never going to know what this feels like. And I smoked it. And then I was walking around my girlfriend's apartment just going, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. It was fucking awesome. And every time I smoked after that, it was never that good. It was just, the first time was just fucking awesome. I wasn't paranoid, nothing. Next time I did it, I ate
sometimes I get
pot
paranoid because I was being sued by this lunatic. I shouldn't say that because maybe I'll sue again. But and then I smoked and thought my lawyer was yelling at me, or maybe he was. But it was all good. So you weren't talking about drowning? Maybe you can't hear back there.
No, were we talking about drowning?
We were talking about what are we going to
ocean?
Beach, sharks.
Sharks. No, terrified of the ocean.
Okay, yeah.
Just the riptide.
I almost drowned.
I'm supposed to fucking just relax.
Twice.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. And when I was a kid, this sounds like a bit, or maybe it is. It's like doing the hacky thing, like you do the fake laughing. You're making me laugh, and they laugh. But pretending it's not a bit. Stop it. He's laughing. That has nothing to do with anything. So our family went to a place, a vacation in Florida back in a long time ago, the Fountain Blue. And this sounds like it was a cheap place where there was nothing to do but play bingo. And every night, and my father was like shell-shocked and Anzio. I know this sounds funny, but doesn't talk much. And he would drink, and so he would go, bingo, when he finally won. And that made me laugh because he never talked screaming bingo like a gay guy. And so it made me laugh. My father would never bingo. And, but then it's such a bad hotel, there was no lifeguard. So I was in the ocean, and it's the undertow. It's like they say, the more you try to come in, it keeps bringing you out.
No, I almost got swept out. My brother, the younger brother, had to run in and pull me out, and they both came in and had to drag me out because I was stuck, and it's frightening.
And I think it's true what they say. You go down 3 times. I was out there, and I would have died. My father ran in his clothes, dragged me out, and I didn't die. And but this is the true thing. So my mother goes, Freddie, we're so glad you're alive. We'll take you to a toy store. You could have anything you want. So I saw this monkey, the stuffed animal. It was like $35. She goes, anything but that. Like, we're not that glad you lived. And we know you were kind of glad, but $35 back then was a lot.
Now, obviously, you're a very funny guy. We're both
it's not that obvious.
Fans. No, it is. No, it's it.
I like the way he sets me up. This may be a regular bit, but...
No, it's going to be a regular bit.
No,
I told you it was going to be a regular bit. You're the one who's trying to back out of it by saying...
No, I'd love to, but I thought if this bombed, then you'd...
No.
The thing where you wouldn't look at me. I once brought a date
That's sort of the beauty of everything that we're doing is all the comics get to decide, and no one is going to tell us that we're not
I thought you meant this show may be a regular bit. You meant a podcast.
No, the regular on this show.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I did say.
So
and we want to talk about the podcast. We're going to help Fred with... Fred wants to do a podcast, and he thinks a lot of people have them, and he needs...
First that was my neuroses, like, it's like when every comedian did a one-man show, like that's their last resort.
Right.
Like nothing's working out. Hey, this is my act, but I'll cry at the end. It's all my jokes, but my father once, my uncle touched me, but no. And it's a one-man
So
show.
it feels like a lot of people have podcasts. What should his podcast be about? And then he was saying that he's not like a guy like you that can just talk about
anything. Like it's amazing on your thing. You'll talk an hour about the Grammys and riff, and nothing's written down. I think. And I'm
not. Well, I can't sit there and do it. It's not because it's this skill. I just can't do it. I can't sit and focus. Like I just can't do it. I drive my wife fucking crazy. Like I try to sit down and she gets excited that I'm going to sit there and watch TV, and unless I'm interacting with the TV and yelling or laughing or like, oh, rewind that was awesome. Like I just.
So you just can't sit and watch it.
I can't.
See, I'm not like that. I can't riff for an hour about, can you believe the gun control and the fucking Patriots and they should have fumbled and
that's what his podcast is to you.
Yeah, I can't do that. Could you fucking believe that pussy? I mean, I'm using pussy a lot.
That's about it. You're really exposing all of my tricks.
And I don't.
Pretty much what it is.
Yeah, and I don't think I could like sit with a comedian who I respect but don't have a connection. Like, hey, dude, I haven't done stand-up in a long time. I'm doing it right. You're
getting back into stand-up, but
yes.
But you're also.
Dude, I can't believe I'm sitting next to you. One of my favorites. You're one of my favorites. Seriously, dude.
I can't believe.
We were saying that before. I could do your.
I was so excited when you said he was coming because you're a guy I always wanted to run into. I was like, I never ran into him. Yeah, dude, you have no idea. That special that changed my life. When I saw that, I was like, I got to do that.
There is some guys from your generation, the generation after me, that I bumped into. Judah Freelander, so respectful. It makes me feel so good.
Yeah.
There is some that weren't so nice.
No, but don't.
And you're going to choose to dwell on that.
I do that.
Back to you. That's like,
this is the type
not
of
everybody's going to like you.
When someone is a great guy, a mensch, as they say, I feel so good, but then I go, well, why does that guy have to be such an asshole?
But if you listen to Mark Maron's podcast when he had Chris Rock on, he would always, you probably know this, that Eddie Murphy would always
What's Fred Stoller doing now?
Oh, Eddie Murphy would always ask Chris Rock, what's Fred Stoller doing?
Okay.
And
I'm going to boast now. I was in Florida working. Awesome. I was working in Florida at a comic strip with what's his name? Not Chris Rock. Eddie Murphy. Right before he got Saturday Night Live. I don't know if any of you know this, but a guy Charlie Barnett who died was a street performer. He was the black guy, but he got fired because he couldn't read. Sadly, he was illiterate. Right. So I think Eddie Murphy would have got it without me. I said, hey, they're looking for a black guy. There weren't a lot then, so I should. But I thought he should have thanked me at the 40th. But all right. He should have said, Fred Stoller, we were in Fort Lauderdale. He goes, you're like an old man. Because I didn't want to jump in the pool. And I went for the toast, and he smacked it. That's my toast. You know at Denny's, they put the communal toast?
Yeah.
He thought that was his toast. Why didn't he mention me? But
I just love you and an unknown Eddie Murphy sitting in a Denny's in Fort Lauderdale fighting over the toast. You're a fucking legend, dude. And he still asks about you. That's how funny you are.
Maybe he doesn't know it's like my mother. What's Freddie doing? What does he do during the day? She doesn't understand. She goes, "What do you do?" And I make shit up.
So I've got.
That could be the podcast. What I do during the day, I kill a lot of time.
Yes, exactly. Killing Time with Fred Stoller. That would be great.
That's a great name for a podcast. Killing Time with Fred Stoller. There we go.
Right.
Look at that.
See that? We should baby step our way. Just baby step, but we can't overwhelm them.
Well, this is the thing. Should I have... See, I have some friends here in the audience that I want to be part of it, but one of them, this nice woman, is going, well, you got to have a specific theme. Every woman I make sound like my mother. She sounds nothing like my mother. Friday, but so should it be? I don't want it to be like a morning zoo. Hey, you suck. Fuck you.
No, it's a killing time with
that way.
No,
what? It doesn't have to be.
So, but I can't talk. I need like a guy to go, and
this is what you need. You need a point guard.
I got that guy. I can bring you guy.
Yeah.
You want
I know this guy. He's amazed by everything. He's a smart guy, and he thinks, oh my God, that's amazing. You went to a store and they had shoes. Oh God. So he thinks all my stories are amazing.
Usually you need a hype man. It's like some sort of...
His wife is Korean. She goes, I love her because the first time I met her, she admitted she's racist and is cold, and I love that she's sweet because... He really said that. I'm sorry, John. And he's there. So should it be... See, this is my problem. All right, I got to be honest. I fucked up tonight. When you prepare a story, I thought, my story, drowning. I thought I had it ready. He talked about drowning when you prepare too hard.
It was good.
Yeah.
But when you're spontaneous, when I don't go, I got something back there. Ooh, I'm not going to suck. I drowned like he did, and he didn't even talk about
It'd
that.
be hilarious if his parents actually bought him that giant stuffed monkey.
25 years later.
No, if they bought it then, like what kind of a comic you would have been? You would have been this change. Let me tell you something, you mother. It all makes up who you are, dude. That's why you're so unique. So
Well,
we
that's
already got
another
the
thing. Is like, what if he does go the opposite of me? What if you did the opposite? That's the other thing. Like, every instinct that you have, just like in Seinfeld and George Costanza. What if you fall not following your instincts with Fred Stoller? Like, you have like this whole. You're inclined to think the negative and be so they can assume and lean towards all of the people in your life that have said shitty things to you. But what if you just try to emphasize the
like
positive?
Talk to be like, hey, dude, pop culture, do what I think you're supposed to do.
Yes.
Hey, dude, can you believe
You know
the
what?
new X-Men movie?
Please, we're
fuck
gonna.
you.
This is gonna be without a doubt. Yes.
I love how he hears all that mainstream bitching. Hey, new X movie. Fuck you. I can't believe that jerk off's Aquaman. What are you looking at? That's our show.
Well, that's the thing. I grew up. Oh, by the way, my sneakers, there's black tape over them because I'm in a gang. No, I'm working on a show. It's the Nebbish, these Disney shows, and they don't want the Nebbish to New Balance. They go, we don't want that guy. No, but when I grew up, why I love this guy so much is he exposed nerds. People go, yeah, man, I guess I'm a nerd because I go to Comic-Con and I'm into robots and everything else every cool person's into. That's what they're saying. But I was like a misfit. Now nerds are cool.
Right.
And so, yeah, so you think
We're the real deal.
Talk
He's
about
an
no, that's what Kevin
OG
Smith,
nerd.
Kevin
Yes.
Smith. Hey, dude, can you believe the new Batman? He's a fucker. I don't know what I'm saying. I'll shut up.
That's a good. We just thought of 3 quality names: OG nerd Fred Stoller. What was
Killing
my first
Time.
one? Killing Time with Fred Stoller. Does everybody like that? Everybody likes Killing Time.
I thought, what about, man, I'm that age, or maybe it's the pot. I can't think of words. I couldn't think of Daniel Stern for an hour.
What I'm gonna say-
I couldn't think of the word Alzheimer's. I swear to God, I saw the movie with Julianne Moore, and I couldn't think of. I go, maybe I have that thing called early.
I think it's cell phones.
Every single ATC live podcast, Fred is going to be back. We're going to start Fred's podcast, so make sure you look for that. One more time for Bill Burr.
Thank you. Al Madrigal.
Yeah. Don't forget to stop by the merch table and look on the website for ATC merchandise. That really helps us out doing what we're doing. Thank you so much for supporting All Things Comedy. One more time for Pete Holmes, Jay Larson. Thank you very much. Good night.
The legendary Fred Stoller.